Tired of hearing about generative AI only in the context of deepfakes and fake voices? You're not alone. While headlines obsess over what generative AI can fake, a quieter revolution is happening in the background. This same technology is helping scientists discover new drugs faster, giving students personalized tutors, and even helping companies move products across the world more efficiently. In this video, you'll see how generative AI is actually transforming industries in ways that rarely make the news, but directly affect your health, your career, and your daily life. Let's start with what generative AI really is. In simple terms, it's a system that learns patterns from huge amounts of data, images, text, molecule structures, code, and then uses those patterns to generate new possibilities that look or behave like the originals. Deepfakes are just one tiny slice of that idea. You feed the system examples of faces and voices, and it learns how to generate new, realistic ones. But that same core ability, learning patterns and proposing new candidates, is incredibly useful when you're searching for new molecules that might become drugs. You want custom learning paths for millions of students. You need to simulate supply chains before spending millions of dollars in the real world. So instead of thinking AI that makes fake videos, think AI that explores possible futures at digital speed. In drug discovery, one of the slowest and most expensive steps is just figuring out which molecules are even worth testing. Traditionally, chemists propose candidates, run simulations, and then perform lab experiments, a process that can take years and cost billions. Generative models flip this. They are trained on databases of known molecules and their properties. Then they can generate brand new molecular structures that are likely to bind to a target protein or behave in a certain way. Instead of randomly searching a gigantic chemical space, researchers get a short list of candidates that are much more promising. The result? Fewer dead ends in the lab, faster iteration cycles, and the potential to respond more quickly to new diseases or resistant variants. The same idea applies to protein design and antibody engineering. Generative AI suggests structures that would be extremely slow or impossible for humans to enumerate manually. In other words, it acts like a hyper-creative assistant that proposes thousands of scientifically plausible options, while human experts decide what to test and approve. Now, think about education. Most classrooms still follow a one-size-fits-all model. One teacher, one pace, one textbook, dozens of different students. Generative AI makes truly personalized learning much more realistic. It can adjust explanations to a student's level, whether they're 10 years old or a working professional. It can generate new practice questions on the fly based on the exact mistakes a learner is making. It can turn the same concept into text, diagrams, or step-by-step hints, depending on how the student prefers to learn. Instead of static textbooks, you get dynamic, interactive learning companions that respond to you in real time. And for teachers, generative AI can draft lesson plans, quizzes, feedback comments, and even differentiated materials for mixed ability classrooms, saving hours of repetitive work so they can focus more on actual teaching and mentoring. If science and education are the visible impact, supply chains are the invisible one you feel when something goes wrong, like empty shelves or long delivery delays. Generative AI can help here too, but in a different way. It can generate scenarios for demand forecasting based on historical sales, seasonality, promotions, and external signals. It can simulate what-if situations, like port closures, raw material shortages, or sudden spikes in demand before they happen. It can propose optimized inventory strategies, where to place stock, how much to keep, and how to route deliveries. Instead of reacting to disruptions, companies can rehearse them in a virtual world and prepare strategies in advance. You might never see this AI, but when your package arrives on time during a global disruption, there's a good chance some generative model helped plan that outcome. Beyond drugs, scientists and engineers are using generative AI to design materials themselves. Lightweight alloys for aerospace, battery components with better energy density, building materials that are more sustainable or more durable. The patterns here are similar. You feed models with data about existing materials and their properties. The model proposes new compositions or structures likely to have targeted characteristics: stronger, lighter, more heat-resistant, less toxic. This turns generative AI into a co-designer that helps engineers explore design spaces they would never have time to test manually. The same principle is being used in product design, electronics, and even architecture, where AI proposes layouts and structures that humans then refine. So why should you care about any of this, beyond the cool factor? Because these applications touch everyday life, health, faster, smarter drug discovery, and personalized treatments. Learning, on-demand tutoring, and upskilling that adapts to you, not the other way around. Prices and availability, more resilient supply chains that keep products on shelves and costs under control. Sustainability and tech, materials and designs that could make future products greener, safer, and more efficient. Deepfakes are a real problem and absolutely need regulation and safeguards. But if you only see generative AI through that lens, you miss the much bigger story. This technology is quietly becoming a general-purpose tool for exploring possibilities in science, industry, and everyday life. If you want to see more content that goes beyond the hype and focuses on how AI is actually being used in the real world, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. In upcoming videos, we'll dive deeper into specific use cases like AI-driven drug design or AI-powered classrooms and break down how they work under the hood. Let me know in the comments which industry you want to explore first.